Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager, here on the Now Media television networks. As you see, we got Kristin Gunderson with us again. Kristin,
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show today, Michael.
All right, so we're going to talk about the stuff people don't like talking about, their numbers, but
Yes.
how do you make it fun and how do you make it important so you make more money? So one of the things we got to understand is we're going out and we're spending money on marketing and advertising, right?
Mm-hmm.
How, as a bookkeeper, CPA, CFO, how do you help business owners understand if this stuff's actually working or not?
Well, one thing you got to be doing is you have to be keeping track of when you're getting leads in the door, where they're coming from. So have some sort of tracking system of when, say if you're doing paper advertising still, like you have on there a code that they need to give you for, I don't know, 5% off or 10% or whatever. And same thing like if you're doing billboards or if you're doing social media, have some way that you can tie it back for that when they're calling, you can be like, hey, where did you get a hold of me or how'd you find me?
Mm-hmm.
And then you will know where your advertising money, like it's coming back and you're seeing that return on investment, because that's really important. We don't want to be spending money where you're not seeing that return on investment.
Yeah, we see it all the time, you know. But a lot of marketing takes time. You know, you're just not going to start doing it tomorrow, and the phone's going to ring. So how do you help your customers look at that and understand, you know, what's the lag, how does it look, and when do we start seeing return on investment?
Yeah, and that's different for each industry that you're marketing in. So like TV and radio, that literally could be a 2-year investment before you really start to see your return on investment. If you're doing other areas, and I am not a marketing person, that is not my expertise, but each one, like you should be able to interview them and be like, when should I be able to see a return on my investment? When will I start to see this? Like newspaper, it might be 6 years if people are still, or not 6 years, 6 months, if they're still doing the newspaper, but you have to know where what your target market is and where they're at to even know where to be advertising.
Well, I teach people that you got to understand first is how does your client actually buy? Mm-hmm. How do they buy? And the purpose of marketing is to put your salespeople in a higher percentage close rate.
Yes.
You know, and if they don't buy by looking at billboards and picking up the phone and calling, don't use billboards.
Exactly. And actually, what I find the best, it really depends on what industry you're in. But like for my industry, it's going to networking events and getting out there and meeting people that are in the same, are not the same profession, but are in good referral networks, they're good referral partners, and working with them. And then like for me, my sales are business to business, so I want to be on LinkedIn. Whereas some people, like they might like, I don't know, TikTok or Instagram might be a better way to start getting the lower sales items to be able to get them sold.
Yeah, but I think you're exactly right. Is we need to know where, you know, I'm teaching business to fish. We got to know where to fish.
Yep.
We got to fish in the right pond so we can go get what we need to do. And I like what you're saying here about, you know, referrals are nice, but there's two bad things about referrals, especially when you're looking at you're looking to transition and sell a business. One is referrals are risky. If you give a bad referral, it's going to put you bad. But two is if you're going to leave the business and sell it, and the reason people are coming is because of you.
That relationship.
It lowers the value of your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things we need to look to, because one of the things you help people talk about is, hey, long term, what do I want to do with my business? You know, first thing I ask them, what's the end of your business?
Yeah.
And so if we don't know where the end is, we can't get you there. So how do we look at setting up a referral network or a networking meeting type thing that can help move on after you're gone?
That's a really great question. One, you need to have those one-to-ones with your referral partners, but then let them know, like, yes, you are the face of the business, but that you have all of the procedures and policies in place for that. You're not actually doing the work anyways, like your team is doing the work for you, and that your policies and procedures are all set up that they will actually be able to continue on whether you're in the business or not in the business.
Yeah, it goes back to documenting processes and make sure things are there. I know one of the things that I do is, you know, I know a lot of our guests come on, they're part of some canned networking groups. I created my own networking groups to bring in the people that I wanted to be there. My sphere of influence, you talked about joint ventures. Joint venture partnerships are one of the best ways to grow businesses because it costs you nothing. You know, you sit down and you set up a contract, but I've got people that are referring people back and forth to each other. You know, like with you, Who's a great joint venture partnership for you? Who do you like to do business with?
I like to do business with bankers, like who are giving commercial loans, because normally their financials are a mess for my business. And then business law, those are great ones for me personally. But you know, if we're talking about other people, they should be able to figure out who are really great investment relationship referrals for them, and those are the people that they need to be talking with.
Yeah, one of the exercises I have my clients go through, we draw a star, you know, the old-fashioned way of going to little kids, and put you in the middle, and who are the 5 top industries that you know, I'm the same way with you. You know, me as a business coach, I work with CPAs and bookkeepers. I work with business attorneys. I work with high-end financial advisors. I work with business brokers, and I work with business bankers. Those are my 5 top people. I'll take the other people, but those are the 5 top and 5 best. So, you know, when you look at that and you want to create these things, we got to also, you know, look at ROI. How often should we evaluate the ROI when we start looking at marketing and advertising?
You need to be looking at it, I would say, on a monthly basis, making sure, like at the end of each month, once I reconcile everything, I am looking to see, okay, where did we spend the money and how much money did we spend on marketing? For business to business, my kind of general rule is you only need to be spending like 2 to 3% of your revenue on marketing. So making sure that that is in line. If you're selling business to consumers, it's more of like 7%. So one, I want to make sure that my percentages is in line, and then to be looking at it every single month, we will be able to tell if the revenue is going up, then obviously that advertising is paying off, and then we also want to make sure that we are tying it back to where we're advertising, if we're advertising in multiple spots, to make sure that we're getting the best bang for the buck.
Yeah, I know. That's why you need a good bookkeeper, because if you look at my advertising spend, it's on whiskey and fishing trips.
Yep.
IRS kind of looks at that kind of weird. So when people
they really don't like it. So.
Hey, when you own a company that's called Whiteboards and Whiskey, how else can you get around it?
True.
Exactly. So tell people how they get a hold of you, and so how you can help them grow their business.
You can give me a call at 936-372-2661, or you can find me on social media. I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Gunderson's Bookkeeping.
And you're always doing these events, and where are these events held, and when do you usually find you at these events?
You can search for Waller County Networking, and we post all the events there. I know we have an event coming up March 1st. We try to do the first Wednesday of each month in the evening, like 5 to 7, and then the third Wednesday of the month, it's a morning before you go into work, and we post those in that group.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Kristin. It's been awesome, and I love it. So this is Michael Rager, your business guide here on Now Media Television. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.